Yes, hello, habari. Yeah, welcome on board. It's my uh, honor that you are okay. Yeah, I welcome you all. I will give you 5 minutes. You join. Today, I really want to discuss about the new what is happening in America, or that attack of America, that attack of Iran by America, and what is its strategic relevance. So, karibuni. So I'm just taking a cup of water here outside. I will be back. So I want us to percolate on that issue of America. Is it the Great Reset as we have always been told? Yeah. So karibuni. So I'm just here around the corner. I'm giving you 5 minutes. Muingia katika kituo. So I'm waiting for you. It's my hope that we are. Yeah. So let me just put a banner so that you don't. 5 minutes to join. Okay. Give me 5 minutes, I'm coming. So ukiingia kwa kituo hold. I will continue now. Yeah, those 5 minutes were enough. So I want to discuss this issue of the U.S. and the attack of Iran. First of all, I want to explain that we have never had a time when the world has been in a crosspath like now. But there is a question which I'm asking myself. What the US did yesterday was a provocation. And you can ask yourself, how comes the US did that provocation and the UN General Assembly is not even serious discussing about it? I just saw like the Russians were trying to condemn that act without giving it the seriousness that it deserves. So there's something I wanted to explain here, that that attack on Iran yesterday, US needed it more than any other person. The US did not act for Israel. US acted for its own self. Because what happens in this world, this thing which we call the Great Reset, or how different powers align, power shifts through war. And right now, I can assure you that we are now close to 24 hours after the US attack on Iran. And it is a reason for people who are saying that they want to align themselves with certain nations. I now even want to caution people. I think BRICS is dead based on what is happening now. BRICS has died. And I don't see any relevance of BRICS. How comes many countries have been saying they want to form that one bloc to challenge America, and when it comes to attacks, those countries do not help you? Iran has been on a suicide mission. China says that we will defend you. China tells Iran, we will defend you. Russia tells Iran, we will defend you. But when Iran is under attack, all these countries go silent. Chinese have not talked. Russians have not talked. Then you ask a question. Why would you want to follow Russia or Chinese? They tell you to get your head high. They are going to protect you. And when things happen to you, they don't respond. That is the problem I'm having. Resilient, karibu sana. And that is why countries, resilient, karibu sana. That's why countries have to be very careful with who you align with. Somebody assures you protection, they don't do it. Like Russians have been telling, actually, the reason why Iran is being attacked is because of the lies which Russia has been telling them and the lies which Chinese have been telling them. China tells Iran, don't worry, do uranium enrichment, reach up to 60%. Mutu akikuuliza, we will respond. What happens? US provokes, US attacks Iran, and the people who have given commitment to defend Iran, they go thin wire. They go thin wire, they don't respond. Why are they not giving the US sanctions? Is a question I'm asking. Why are they not sanctioning US? And resilient, that's the reason why I now want to confirm to people here that we have been given lies. The way America is crumbling, America has no power, the empire is failing. The empire is failing. How comes the empire is failing and the country provokes, and there is no any country in the world which is ready to react to them? Why, if it was China which did that yesterday, they could have been sanctioned by the US and probably they could have been attacked. If it was Russia, they could have been sanctioned by the US. But why are these countries not brave enough to sanction US? It tells you one thing: they fear the bigger repercussions which would happen to them if they attack the US. Okay, GW, nitasoma comment yako. I disagree. No, I don't listen to Jeffrey Sachs. I don't listen to some scholars who do not understand what they are saying. GW, I would want to encourage you also, be your own, use your own mind. Don't use mind of others. Look on issues based on the way you understand them. Don't use mind of others like so and so are the same. The reason why this world people are fantasizing or they are building on wrong narrative, it is because we have given people monopoly of they are the people who reason better than us. This Jeffrey Sachs, you are telling me about him, we have equal brains. He reasons in a certain way, I'm reasoning in a certain way. So I don't listen to these people. To me, I take them as idlers. And this presentation which I'm doing here, GW, is not a presentation based on somebody's idea. I'm doing a presentation here based on my own analogy and the way I see issues happening in the world. So, and by the way, Jeffrey Sachs has been wrong on so many issues. So that's why I don't want to listen to some of these people, because to me, you know, some of these people believe they own the thinking of the world, and they don't. So GW, let's ignore some of these people and we only use our mind. Let's ask ourselves, based on what is happening in the world. I want to talk something about BRICS now. We have been having this fantasy of BRICS. Russia is forming a conglomeration where Chinese are involved, Indians are there, I think even Iran is there, and some other funny countries in Africa. They are joining BRICS. Now, one of BRIC nation has been attacked. How comes, GW, kuna kitu mimi nataka munielewe. How comes Iran is being attacked and they have friends and no one is willing to defend them? No one is willing to defend them. Why are they not being defended by some of those people they call allies and friends? That's the problem I have. You cannot tell me Chinese will allow Iran to be attacked and they don't do anything. Why should I believe Chinese any other time? They can defend me or they can respond to me. You see, once you give a commitment to somebody, you have to fulfill it. But you know, Chinese, there is a reason why. It's not that China cannot attack, but China knows they are not equals of the US. I know we are talking a lot, you know, we are saying, I don't want to go to that power comparison. But the truth of the matter is, the US has positioned itself into the path of dominance for the next 100 years. Now, what Chinese can do is now do some fake stuffs. They can manufacture another COVID, which where they hoped that that COVID thing could have brought the global reset. Let me tell you, by the resilient, for your information, this thing is not done. If you believe you are the superpower of the world, just attack America. It's that simple. If you believe. Already, you know, America has now positioned the world on a path of war. If you believe you are this powerful, you have weapons and you can do all these bizarre things and you can claim you are as powerful as you claim. Many people have told us that China has a lot of power. Now, there is a reason to attack America. I want Chinese to attack America. There is a reason. America provoked yesterday. But if Chinese are not going to attack America, no one should ever come here and tell me China is a developed country. Or why? China is always told, if you attack Taiwan, we will respond to you. US tells them that way. And at least I have loved one doctrine of the US. When the US makes a commitment, regardless of how we want to position this information, when the US gives a commitment that they will defend you, they do it. These other countries, they put you on a suicide mission. When you are attacked, you are alone. Right now, the only thing they can do is to supply weapons to Iran secretly. At night, some bombs being dropped by aeroplanes which they don't want them to be seen. Why can't Chinese supply weapons to Iran openly, daylight? Why must it be secrecy? And they are powerful. So in a nutshell, without over-exaggerating that information, China has not yet. So that argument should end. America is still the greatest empire ever discovered by man so far. And if there is anyone who doesn't agree on that, they should challenge it through war. So, if it is this cowardice and bringing some proxy wars, like maybe divisions within the country, forget. For information, there was a reason why, and actually, by the way, this year Donald Trump will get the Nobel Peace Prize. I think, for me, I believe now Donald Trump has prevented nuclear war. He has prevented a nuclear war by destroying some of those weapons which could be used by people who are not good. And I want to explain to people the reason why. People always think that Iran is not a threat. People are always saying that, Iran is not a threat. Iran has not attacked anyone. But there's a question I want to ask. Why is Iran using proxies? Why is Iran working with Hezbollah? Why is Iran working with some funny groups in the Middle East? That is the problem which we have. So let's not say that Iran is not provoking anyone and they are having their own military, which are not serious, which are causing a lot of havoc. Media has lied to us for so long. Let me watch and saw my comment. I have listened to many narratives plus my own thinking. Okay, GW, that one is okay. Resilient, naona unanisalimia hapa. To be clear, America is not in a war with Iran. It's against developing the nuclear weapon. It has neutralized that capability. Cannot allow number one sponsor of terrorism to enrich for nukes. Yeah, of course, very few people resilient can understand that. But it's okay. So that's some of the explanations which I wanted us now to start percolating on or to start thinking on. So maybe GW, because maybe umesikiliza watu sana, there is this thing which they always tell us, the Great Reset. The Great Reset. The Great Reset, where now power will move from America and we get now another powerful country. Great Reset will always happen because of a war. If you are not ready to fight, forget about being a superpower. Forget about, there's no in which, like, for example, you can discriminate the dollar if you are not ready to fight. So if China will want to dominate the world, they will have to take territories by force from America. Is that serious? So they will need to attack Guam. They take that one. They attack Taiwan, they take that one. They attack Europe, they take that one. That is how you get power in this world. Resilient nataka hiyo uelewe vizuri. You cannot become a superpower without war. You have to shift territories and give dominance. Even after the World War II, America embossed its authority through loaning all the money they were having through the Marshall Plan to Europe. That time, Europe is devastated. They don't have anything. So Europe is now being helped by America, and America is enslaving them. And as America is enslaving Europe, Europe becomes a substitute, and America builds so much resources, and they become the greatest country in the world. That time, China is in poverty. In the 40s, China was in poverty. You couldn't even talk of China. Yeah, at that time, Russia was somewhere. So those are the issues which resilient we have to talk about here. Attack on the nukes was in years making. It was planned recently, almost 10 years ago. Prior to 2015, DJT clearly said Iran cannot have nukes. Yeah, of course. He has made sure it won't happen. And if they continue the program again, it will be attacked. So let me talk about those bomb busters. That is specific bomb, which is trying to show how the US has been developing their technology for so long. Remember, those bombs, I don't think, they are not even in Russia. I think those bombs were only customized, they are only in the US and Israel. Because if those bombs were there, they could have already even been used in Ukrainian war to destroy some of the facilities. And Putin has refused to show strength. That's why he is unable to conclude the Ukrainian war almost 3 years down the line. In fact, Putin ameaibisha Russia sana. That war, Ukraine is not a country to fight for 3 years. It's too much. I heard the other day saying that all the Ukraine is there, and he has not even won that war. But anyway, America did an attack, and they brought a scare in the world. The UN cannot speak, the Russians cannot speak, Chinese cannot speak. Donald Trump did that attack, and the world was just quiet. The world was just quiet. No one talked anything. So that is the power which America has. They will attack you, and no one will respond for you. Because they know that if they respond for you, they will also have serious force, which has never been subjected to anyone else. So resilient, America has been investing in so many. America has invested in education, in technology, in everything. That's why there are things which America will never do. When it comes to world dominance, and for your information, let me tell you, don't be cheated. Even if Democrats and Republicans, they have so many divisions in the politics, I can assure you, even without looking at the pretense, like where some of them are saying that Donald Trump needed to have sought congressional approval on that attack because they wanted to leak it, actually. But the truth of the matter is, what Donald Trump did yesterday is overwhelmingly being supported by everybody. Regardless of the differences in America, by the way, anything which is posing an existential threat to the existence of their democracy, they all agree. So whatever Donald Trump did yesterday was not a Republican ideology. It was American ideology, and many citizens of America supported, because they know it is a deterrence towards an attack. Americans have been casualties of terrorism, so they know what terrorism means to them. That's why if there is something which Americans don't joke with, is terrorism. They can invest all the monies of this world to make sure that they have free state, because they know a free state is where you can be able to grow your wealth. There's no in which you can grow your wealth with risks of being attacked by Tom, Dick, and Harry. So resilient, America has just confirmed that it is the greatest country in the world, and no one is willing to challenge that. So we can confirm with precision that America is the superpower of the world, and there is no any other country in the world comes closer to them. Otherwise, they have an opportunity to disapprove America is not a superpower, but they are so scared they can't do it. Russia has an opportunity to challenge America. China has an opportunity to challenge America. So the Syrian Nasema Njiro, tonight, Iran Middle East time, Iran has only fired one missile towards Israel. Anything can happen, but I think they have gotten a clear message from US not to continue with their shenanigans. Of course, let me tell you, Israel does not require US for defense. For your information, Israel is more aggressive than America when it comes to aggression. So America will do some calculation, but Israel will always bomb you. So Israel is a bit aggressive. So America will always calculate on the issues which they are doing. But Israel they are directly on the hit. Yeah, I know sometimes people will say that you cannot stand with Israel, you have to stand with the Palestinians. Palestinians are also suffering. I agree. But remember, Palestinians are not suffering because somebody hates them. The reason why Palestinians are suffering is because there are some terroristic groups which have decided that they have decided to cause harm to Jews all the time. And it is known, there are some people who have declared that the Jews or Israel does not deserve to be where it is. So, and then you ask yourself, what would you want to do if somebody is threatening your own survival in a territory where you are? You had the other time when Kenya, when we were told that Migingo is not ours, the way Kenyans were so angry, and it is something which brought a lot of. It's only that Kenya we are not serious, but that was something where we needed even to attack Uganda. Uganda wanataka kuchukua island yetu, and we are there, we are not talking anything because we are not a serious nation. Tulikuwa tunafaa kubomoa Uganda mbaya sana. Yeah. So America has really proved itself. Personally, I was very proud of that act because now Iranians will have now to sit down and do a lot of calculation moving forward. Iran cannot continue to build those weapons, even if some people are saying that Iran doesn't have those weapons. Once you begin to do enrichment and using uranium, you are on the path of nuclear. And there is a reason why countries observe each other when it comes to nuclear. It is because nuclear are weapons of mass destruction, and nuclear is only a deterrent. You don't want to have nuclear so that you use it. That is not the importance of nuclear. The importance of nuclear is a deterrent, is to have what another power has. So nuclear is not for everybody. Nuclear is for those superior countries. Nuclear, China can have nuclear. It's a serious country. Russia can have nuclear. It's a serious country. Because you have to follow guidance on how to use it. So resilient, that is what is happening. So America has really done well, and we will wait for more victories. It is something which we cannot ignore. So moving forward, let's continue agreeing that there's no any country which is willing to challenge America, and I don't know why. And there is that opportunity that America needs to be challenged now. So Njuria, and resilient, I mean, America has really done us proud. I think America has made sure that place will now be secure. If Iran doesn't have nuclear, the better for existence of everybody. Those nuclear can land to Hezbollah in wrong hands. You know, when you're not a serious nation, especially when you want to enable some of those terrorists, we cannot allow you to have nuclear. The thing is, US don't have a problem with Iran having nuclear power, but they cannot go over 60% of enriching to create a nuclear weapon. Resilient, the US has a problem with Iran having nuclear. There's a problem. That's why they were attacked. That's why they are prevented from having a full-scale nuclear, because they collaborate with the terrorists. That is the problem. Even Russia does not collaborate with the terrorists. If you go to Russia, you will always see that they are always looking for terrorists and causing harm. Even China does not cooperate with the terrorists. But you cannot be a serious nation and you are cooperating with the terrorists and making them to be your proxies. It's not fair. So the fact that Iran works with some funny group, it also shows that it is not a serious country. You cannot be a serious country and you are operating with the funny groups. Yeah. So resilient, kudos to America. And for your information, based on my own thinking, I think even Europe was not given all the information. Today I've seen even Starmer was praising it. By the resilient, hata Mike Pence amesifu mzee sana. And I believe, by the way, Donald Trump is going to get a Nobel. He deserves. Although this media cannot allow, because they still believe that. But Donald Trump, at least, he has done what people like Obama, Biden, they couldn't do. At least he has done it. And he did it methodologically. The whole exercise was a textbook case. Precision, technology. I think America tried to show the world that they are like 100 years ahead of us. America iko mbali sana. They proved it yesterday. If Iran was honest like other countries with nuclear capabilities, I don't see why not. Iran does not allow inspectors in their country to make sure they are not doing money business. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, resilient, so mambo iko hivyo. So don't expect Iran to respond. If they have to respond, pengine they will respond through terrorists. Majamu wa kudunga watu visu, but they cannot respond conventionally. Yeah, so they can't respond conventionally. And I'm really proud of what America did yesterday. It is something we need to appreciate, because I think the world is changing for better. And I think Donald Trump will leave this world a more better place. Now America has now shown there's a new sheriff in town, and he is not ready to mess around with the stupidity. For your information, even since Donald Trump got into power, there is a lot of there's a lot of good things which are happening in the nation, including even rising incomes. We know that the oil prices could go high because of what is happening currently, but at least there are so many good things which are happening in Trump regime, and we need to be proud of this second chance for Mr. Donald Trump, because he will be able to build a lot, and I think even the people who will come after him, they will be able to follow his footsteps, and they will be able to continue building one of the greatest empire ever built by man. And I think Americans should be very proud of what they have been able to build for a period of 400 years. That one can only happen in America. At least Donald Trump is more honest, and I think they need him. And because he has been able to do what many of the US presidents were not courageous enough to do. At least we highly accolade Donald Trump for that courage to do the right thing without fear or getting scared that the nation could retaliate against you. So resilient, America continues to dominate the world, and America will be able to build, will continue to build their technology. So we have to be really, Alex, si ati naachana na siasa Marekani. I'm trying to analyze. We were here almost for 4 hours na siasa ya Kenya. So Alex, that is the issue. So America, Budi najaribu kukuambia, nyinyi mnadanganya mainchi zingine, mnawaambia tuko pamoja, they get attacked, you don't help. So I think a time of working with reliable nations is now. Nchi ambayo iweze kudefend, there's no need of forming arrangements with them. I now doubt the capability of BRICS when it comes to war, because now BRICS has to defend Iran. There's no two ways about that. That commitment has to be done. Sawa Budi, hata nimechoka. Resident nitakuja kesho. Anyway, let's continue monitoring that. It's really very serious. And I don't think America will not be able to attack again if they want. Resident, tuonane kesho. Nimeisha.